Hi, my name is Joe, and you're about to get started tonight. Now, let's go to sports for this week. Take it away, Emily.
Welcome to PSPN, where we tell you what's happening with Perry sports. Last Thursday, boys soccer lost 1-2 home versus Geneseo. Brennan C. scored on an assist from Will W. The boys traveled to York on Wednesday, October 20th at 4:30 p.m. The girls soccer also lost 0-4 away versus Geneseo. It was a tough game. Varsity girls volleyball also lost that day, a close game away versus Geneseo. Geneseo's scores were 25, 16, 25, and 25. Perry's scores were 9, 25, 22, and 21. Kayla Royce's serves kept Perry in the game, but it wasn't enough as Geneseo beat the Yellow Jackets 3-1. Royce finished with 14 service points, 8 of which were aces. Erica Miller finished with 6 kills and 8 digs. There will be a modified volleyball game away versus Pavilion on the 21st. There's also going to be a girls soccer game home versus Kashqua that day. On the 22nd, there will be a modified boys soccer game and a modified girls soccer game away versus Kashqua. There will also be a modified volleyball game away versus Letchworth and a boys soccer game home versus Kashqua. There will also be a girls JV volleyball game home versus Kashqua. There will be no games the 23rd through the 27th. That's all for this week. Back to you, Joe.
I'll be sure to get to those games and all of you get there too. Let's take it to Billy with the weather.
Thursday will be a high of 44 and a low of 38 and rainy. Friday will be a high of 44 and a low of 36 and partly cloudy. Saturday will be a high of 51 and a low of 42 and sunny. Sunday will be a high of 52 and a low of 42 and cloudy. Saturday will be the best day to get out of the house. Back to you, Joe.
Thanks, Billy. I'll be sure to bundle up. Now let's go to classroom chat with Emily. Take it away, will you?
Hello and welcome to Classroom Chat. This week we went to the 4th grade classrooms who were running a crayfish race. These were the crayfish that they used. This crayfish was named Big Daddy because it was the biggest set that they got. Mrs. Fanero's class won the championship. Mrs. Schro's class didn't. Back to you, Joe.
Thanks for that news about school. Now, let's go to the interview with our reporter, Steph, and Mrs. Kettle.
Hi, my name is Stephanie, and I'm here interviewing Miss Kettle. What do you do in the school?
Okay, so what is my job in this school?
Yes.
Okay. As a school counselor, I have a lot of different jobs. I kind of think of it as wearing many different hats. My biggest thing that I have to always make sure is the schedule. I create the schedule for all the students. And so besides creating the schedule, I work with students academically. So if a student isn't doing well, I can come up with a plan, help them figure out why and what to do about it. And sometimes I meet with students after school actually to do that. And some of the other things that I do besides the academic piece, I work with kids individually or in groups for social and emotional issues. I try to help them through some of the things that might be bothering them, and it is a range of problems from maybe something related to school or friends or home, depending on the situation. And I work with kids in grades 5 through 8. There's a lot of different programs that I work with as well, like in the community, different partners that I work with to try to bring programs to the school, and a couple of other different things. that sometimes may pop up that I just have to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
What electives are this year?
What electives? Okay. The electives that we have this year range from, we have woodworking, energy systems, lights, camera, action, the class you guys are taking, broadcasting. We have something called geocaching, geography, we have debate class. Let's see, we have a couple more. You know what, I'm going to cheat and look because a couple of them are new this year. We also have cooking and musical theater, painting and sculpture, and poetry. We have a class called Publications, which is the school newsletter, reading lounge, and digital photography. Did I say that one? And that's about it. So quite a few this year.
How do you choose the electives?
Actually, we do a survey of the students to see what they might be most interested in. The year before, we offer them. And this year, we offered a few more that students didn't even know about by asking teachers what they might be interested in teaching, if they had any time in their schedule that they wanted to do as something extra and additional for the students. So some of the teachers came up with those electives as well.
Okay. What do you do in the summer?
Well, I have to work so many days here in the summer. That's when I make the schedule for everybody. That's when I create the schedule. I start it at the end of the school year, and then I work through the summer. And once that's done, I take a lot of time off, and I spend time with my kids. I have 2 boys, 10 and 7, and we do some traveling with our family. And we have a big pool in the backyard, so we have a lot of pool parties. Lots of boys, because I have boys, so that's what we do.
Cool. How do you create the schedule for all the students in our school?
That is a very complicated job, I have to say, because there's, as you know, many students. So I have to basically start off with looking at all of the needs that students have, and I start off and I work grade level by grade level and making sure that everything works and that all of our teachers can teach the classes so that nothing conflicts with anything else. It's a really complicated process, but I get help from Mrs. Waite, and it takes a little while to figure it out, but once it's done, I'm always very relieved.
What's your favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject when I was in school was probably history.
What's your favorite book? What age group do you recommend it to?
Okay, well, I have a lot of different types of books that I like to read. And recently, I know that some of the students like the Harry Potter books, but one that I can recommend to you guys, maybe Chicken Soup for the Teenage Soul. That's a fun one. That's what I can think of that would be appropriate right now at this age level for everybody.
How do kids set up their appointments to come to your office?
If students want to come in, they usually will ask to have one of their teachers either call me, or they have in their study hall the teacher give them a pass to come down and see if I'm available. But if I'm setting up appointments with students, a lot of times I set them up ahead of time, and I'll give them passes to come in. So the next time they come in, they already have a schedule and they already have a pass. So a lot of times they have a pass ahead of time, but if not, they can come in during a study hall or during lunch or after school, whenever it's not during their classes. They can ask to come in. Or if it's an emergency, they can come in during a class too.
Okay. What's your favorite part of your job?
Favorite part of my job is, I guess, noticing when a student needs something, and noticing maybe when somebody's upset, and just being able to help them through it and get through that day. It's the favorite part of my job, to know that they're going to go home a little bit happier than when they came in.
Cool. Well, we're out of time today, so thank you for tuning in. I'm Stephanie, and this is Miss Cuddle. And back to you, Joe.
Thanks for watching this week's PCS broadcast. Tune in next week. See y'all later.